So, you just got the promotion. You're the leader now. You've got the title, you've got the team, but there's this one thing you can't just be given: their trust. And let's be real, building that from scratch, it's one of the biggest hurdles you'll face. The question is, how do you actually pull it off?
First things first, let's talk about why this is so critical. A study from Harvard Business Review found that people in high-trust companies are a whopping 50% more productive. Yeah, 50%! That's not just some feel-good metric. That's a real, measurable advantage. We call that the trust dividend, and believe me, it's something you want. Which brings us to the big question, right? How do you earn that trust? How do you get your team to really buy into your vision, to follow your lead, and to feel safe enough to bring their best ideas to the table, especially when you're the new person in charge?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're not getting bogged down in theory here. Nope, we're getting practical. We're about to add 3 powerful, actionable tools to your leadership toolkit that you can literally start using the minute this is over.
And here they are. It's as simple as the 3 C's: character, competence, and connection. Think of this as your framework. If you can master these 3 areas, you are going to build a foundation of trust that is absolutely rock solid. Let's dig into that first one.
All right, tool number 1, your character. This is the bedrock. It's the absolute foundation of everything else. It's not about the fancy speeches you give, it's about who you are when nobody's watching. Your team is always watching to see if your actions line up with your words. This is where trust is either born or it dies. So, how do you actually show character? It comes down to your everyday actions. Be ridiculously honest, even when the news is tough. If you say you're going to do something, you do it, period. And here's a huge one. When you mess up, and you will, just own it. Acknowledging a mistake doesn't make you look weak. It shows humility, and it makes you human.
Okay, I need you to lean in for this next part. We've got to talk about a major trust breaker. This is a behavior that will absolutely torpedo all your hard work in an instant. Inconsistency. You know what I'm talking about. When your principles seem to change depending on the day, or when you enforce rules for some people but not for others. That kind of stuff creates chaos and just erodes respect. Consistency is literally the glue that holds your character together.
Let's make this real. Take a second and think about a leader who lost your trust. Was inconsistency part of the reason? I'm willing to bet for a lot of you it was. If that hits home, do me a favor and just drop a yes in the comments. Let's see it.
Okay, moving on to tool number 2, your competence. Look, character is what gets people to listen to you in the first place. But competence, that's what convinces them to actually follow you. Your team has to believe that you've got the skills, the knowledge, and the judgment to lead them to a win.
And how do you prove it? Well, you never stop learning. Always be sharpening your saw. You set expectations that are crystal clear so everyone knows what winning looks like. You don't shy away from the tough decisions. And you take total ownership of the results: the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what competence looks like in the real world.
And you guessed it. Just like with character, there's a massive trap here that so many leaders fall into. Let's put a spotlight on it right now so you can sidestep it. It's avoiding accountability. The second things go south and a leader starts pointing fingers or making excuses, boom, credibility is gone. Instantly. Holding yourself and your team to a high standard isn't just a good idea, it's a direct reflection of your competence. And this is where it all starts to click. When you bring together that solid character with proven competence, you create something amazing called psychological safety. This is the secret sauce. It's that shared belief in a team that it's okay to take risks, to admit you made a mistake, or to challenge an idea without fear of being shut down.
Which leads us perfectly to our third and final tool: connection. Think of it this way. If character is the foundation and competence is the structure of the house, then connection is what makes it a home. It's the trust multiplier. It's what shifts the whole vibe from me to we. And building connection isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, consistent things. It's putting your phone away during a one-on-one and really listening. It's showing people you actually care about them as people, not just as workers. It's trusting them with the autonomy to own their work. And it's sharing information freely, because nothing kills trust faster than uncertainty.
You know, there's this brilliant little formula that sums this all up. It's called the trust equation. It says that trust equals your credibility plus your reliability plus your intimacy, all divided by one huge factor. Now notice how credibility sounds a lot like competence, and reliability lines up with character, and intimacy is all about that connection.
That one huge factor it's all divided by is self-orientation. Basically, is your focus on you or is it on your team? Because this is in the denominator of the equation, it has an outsized impact. The single fastest way to build trust isn't just to be more competent or reliable, it's to make it less about you and more about them.
So let's put this into practice. Right now, I want you to think of one small, simple promise you can make to your team this week, and more importantly, that you can keep. Could be anything. I'll get you that feedback by Friday. I'll schedule that meeting. Drop your promise in the comments. Let's make it real.
So, where do you start with all this? I know it can feel like a lot, but listen, trust isn't built in a day. It's built in moments. It starts with one intentional step, one single action.
So let's just recap that toolkit one more time. Number 1, build your character with unwavering integrity. Number 2, prove your competence by consistently delivering results. And number 3, deepen your connection by making it all about the team. Character, competence, connection. That is your path forward. The brilliant researcher Brené Brown put it perfectly. She said, trust is a product of vulnerability that grows over time and requires work, attention, and full engagement. It's not a checkbox you tick off. It's a living, breathing thing that you have to nurture. It really is a journey.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. You've got the tools. You've got the roadmap. Building trust starts right now with your very next step. What's it going to be?
You did everything right to build a successful life. But what if that suit no longer fits? Yeah, you did everything you were supposed to. The degree, the job, all those endless late nights. But deep down, you're running on fumes. And you're starting to ask, is this really it?
If that hits home, you need to know this. You are not alone. Not even close.
To get ahead, you learn to wear the mask, the one that says, I've got this.
But the world kept rewarding the performance, and you started losing the person underneath.
This isn't just being tired. It's an exhaustion that lets you keep going while silently falling apart.
It's called high-functioning burnout. You look perfectly fine on the outside, but you're hollowed out. Do any of these sound familiar? This is real, and I promise you, it is not your fault.
Let's be really clear. You are not the problem. The system you have to perform in is.
But there is a path back, and this book was written for this very moment. This isn't another productivity guide. It's about healing the why behind all that hustle. Inside, you'll learn how to take off the mask and finally reconnect with your actual self. You'll learn how to trade that constant draining grind for a life that actually flows. It's time to find a way to succeed that doesn't require you to completely disappear.
Because the person you are today has outgrown the role you were forced to play.
This is your permission slip. It's time to stop pretending and finally start healing. Your next chapter starts right here. It's time to find your way back.